Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the United States. My name is Kelly Baltzell. I'm the CEO owner of Beyond Indigo Pets. Today, on this lovely June 4th, full moon, lunar eclipse, somewhere in the world, somewhere tonight, we have Dr. Peter Weinstein from the SCDMA organization in California. Welcome, Peter.
Kelly, great to see you. Hope all is well, and you're in the center of the country as we sit here on the West Coast. It's real early morning here for us.
Yeah, it's harsh for you, isn't it? Yep. It's lunchtime for us. Yep. Well, I'm in Minnesota, Minneapolis, so it's been a little bit of a hotbed of news lately across the world. Anybody who didn't know where Minnesota was probably does maybe a little bit better now, because they always mix us up with Michigan. So maybe we finally got all straightened out about it. But today we are going to chat about, because you and I just sit and chat to the audience here, and I've noticed the more years than we probably want to account for a bit. So we sit and chat quite a bit, and we just want to kind of give some tidbits and help. But Peter, do you want to tell people what your job or role is with the SCDMA? They don't know.
I am the executive director of the Southern California Veterinary Medical Association, which is a role I look at as a cheerleader or an advocate for the veterinary profession in specifically Los Angeles County and Orange County, California. We have probably the largest regional association in terms of the number of veterinarians and team members and industry that are part of the association. So my role is to be an advocate for the profession in a political fashion, an advocate for the profession to the eyes of the consumers of veterinary services and care, and really to be the cheerleader and the communicator to the member veterinarians and staff. And so the past 3 months have essentially put me in a role of just trying to keep everybody upbeat in a world that's trying to beat us down.
As always, you're good with the words. Thank you. So you and I were talking about today, like, how can we help people today, June 4th, with everything that's going on in the world today? And we were talking about kind of what you heard with kind of your population, and you and I both have a pulse on the veterinary industry as a whole, nationally and internationally. We all have you and I both have our connections there. And we were kind of noticing about how hospitals sometimes are, like, what we're seeing about responding to the background noise of the world is kind of what we're calling it, but there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of negative emotions swirling around out there in the pot we call the world. And we kind of have some thoughts about it and are recommending to our clients, but what are you seeing in your lens of the world and recommending to people?
Well, we've had some practices impacted by the riots and by the curfews and by suggestions of their cities and police to shut down, board up, and protect their buildings. And I feel badly, and it's really difficult and a challenging time already. And we've been dealing with truly unique business practices since the beginning of March, and much of LA County is still on a stay-at-home order. And so we throw all of this, and then you throw a new challenge into the mix, and I think there's some high stress that's going on for the owners of the hospitals. There's high stress going on for the staff members of the hospitals, and I think the pet owners are dealing with high stress as well. So it's not surprising that some of the things that we've seen on the news, this tinderbox that erupted as a result of racial issues, we're seeing it in veterinary hospitals, just trying to get through the day-to-day, because living in the current world is just challenging. It's not the normal, not the normal world. So I keep communicating to our members to take care of each other and to take care of their team and take a deep breath and realize that we need to support one another as a profession and support one another as human beings.
Completely. And you and I are also talking about, before we got on here, is that it's not just in the veterinary hospital. So like we're seeing, for example, in the digital marketing world, where where people can leave comments and reviews, and there's numerous various places from Facebook to Yelp. Yelp's huge in your area. Google, all sorts of things that, we've had a few cases where people have come, as we're watching client accounts and said, hey, your staff member is saying like incendiary, flammable things on the greater digital marketing world on multiple platforms. We thought you should know about it, right? Because they're pairing that employee with the veterinary hospital. Are you guys seeing that too, a little bit?
Well, I guess I'm seeing it because I'm on Facebook. I know more than you are. And
yes.
I have been watching a lot of conversations, and I had tried to stay off Facebook for the first 30, 40, 60 days of COVID. And then all of a sudden I kind of got back in, mostly as a lurker. But there are interesting comments and commentaries by people. And I'm going to go back as a former hospital owner and remind leadership and practices that we need to bring our staffs together right now and return to our core values, especially the core value of respect, and remind our staff that they reflect the hospital even on their Facebook pages or their Instagram pages or their tweets, because they are an employee of the hospital. And if they're listing that hospital as their job and they're making disrespectful comments about race or sex or gender or whatever the case may be, that reflects back to the hospital. And many clients who are friends or lurkers or whatever the case may not be able to differentiate between you as an employee and the hospital. So I think it's time for the leadership of the hospital to have a come to leadership meeting and remind people of the practice core values and how important it is to not lose those core values just when they leave the hospital at 6 o'clock.
True, because now we're all connected all the time, right? Like even if we realize we're not connected, because sometimes when we're in front of our device, we feel like we're having a personal conversation with that device, and we feel like we're private and we're insulated, but really that device is the doorway to a greater world. It's not a one-on private conversation with you and Facebook or you and Google, right? And so you're connected even though we don't realize it all the time, even maybe more so because we're a little bit more isolated than in the past. So
yeah. It is interesting. I think there are times when people have too much time.
Yep.
And one of the conversations I have from a leadership standpoint is to understand the difference between react and respond. And sometimes we just want to jump down somebody's throat and react.
Right.
And the best thing to do is to take a step back and count to 10, 20, 100, and rethink, or even type out what you want to say and delete it, or put it in a drawer, or whatever the case may be. I think we have to be think more through what we're going to say these days, and be much more logical in our approaches to our conversations.
When I first started digital marketing in 1995, one of the first things that they taught us, because this whole world was new back in 1995. I mean, it wasn't, that was really the year it kind of went public, although it was around, it wasn't in the mainstream consciousness. They taught us to smile from the wrists on down. And so it was always something that stuck with me. Like, so, the wrist on down is where you're doing all the typing. That is where the smiling should be happening on the internet. And then if the wrist above, regardless of what your emotions are, like you said, write them down, put them in a drawer, but your access point to the world should be not that emotion, because you can never erase it. You can't get it back. Whatever you put out on the internet is there to stay. Even if you delete it, it's not really deleted. It's just deleted so you can't see it. But it is still on there, and it will show up at some other point. So watch what you say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Watch what you say, watch what you type. and just be cognizant of the fact that you reflect beyond your name, beyond your image, with the organizations and companies that you keep. And as a director of a professional association, I am exquisitely sensitive to working with all members of our association, and we try to do everything we can to make this an open organization and support the profession and support the community. And the veterinary community needs to support one another as well. It's a very small community, and for anybody who watches this, reach out to your local and state and regional associations, the national associations, and others, and help each other out, because we really need to show a strong united front about us as a profession, and about our members, and about the animals for whom we care. And anytime we're distracted by a virus or a riot, it impacts our ability to take care of the animals, and that's what we're in it for.
Right. And that's what we're here to do, right? Yep, exactly. Well, I think that's a good place to end today, because you summarized it really, really well. So thank you. Again, Peter's here from the SCDMA. You also may have seen his face in multiple places. You speak at all the national shows. Whether we have those again this year in person or not, still yet to be seen. But we might be seeing you virtually in places speaking. So we'll see about that as the world unfolds. Next week seems like a lifetime from now, so I can't even think months down the road right now. So
look forward to seeing y'all live soon. It's time for a big group hug,
isn't it? Let's bring in the peace. Let's kick the hate out the door. All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks for the invitation. Love to come back and visit with you again.
Love to have you.